Hello again. This is Jim Musser with Upstream Ministries with episode 19 of Views from Downstream. Hard to believe we've already had that many episodes. And if you have been watching much at all, you have heard me say time and time again that according to the scriptures, parents need to be at the forefront of raising their kids spiritually. That is just clear from reading the scriptures. And so this week I want to focus on parents and how can parents become more effective in raising their kids spiritually. So we're going to spend the week talking about that. And I'd like to start out with that if you're going to disciple your children, you need a plan. It needs to be intentional. You're not going to just walk into it and do it. Typically, that's the enemy's strategy, is to have parents just kind of feel their way through it and not really have any plans or intent. So let's talk about being intentional. And some of this is going to come from things that I've gotten from the formational pathway that's put out by Awana Ministries. And so I'm borrowing a little bit from them, and I would highly recommend their formation kit that you can find on their Awana website to get you started. But one of the things that they talk about is being intentional, developing a plan. And so one of the things that they recommend is to at first decide what you envision your child to be like, or you want them to be like when they're 40 years old. What is in essence, the end goal of your parenting? And I said in an earlier episode that for a lot of Christian parents, it seems that their main goal is to raise kids that are moral and are good. But in reality, that is not what the scriptures tell us that our goal should be. Our goal should be to become more like Jesus, to fix our eyes on him, and to be active participants in bringing about the kingdom of God on earth. And that's very different from just being good and moral. You can find atheists, literally, that are good and moral. So that's not a really good goal if you're wanting to raise your children as Christians. So what do you envision them to be? And then to begin to look at, okay, how do we get there? How do we get there? And you make that your template for raising your child. And it isn't going to be perfect, and you'll probably make a ton of adjustments along the way, but you have to be intentional. The world has a way of just vacuuming up our time with all kinds of things, and a lot of those things are good. They're not bad at all. And we'll talk about some of those. But if you are allowing the world to guide you, then you're going to come up short in your plan to disciple your children. There's just no way around that, because the world's not interested in discipling your children. They're interested in you doing what they want you to do. And they want you to be involved in all these activities that they suggest. They want you to be spending money that will help them, and spend your time in a way that will help them. And so you need to step back and first of all, look at how you want your children, how you envision them turning out, ideally, and then begin to make a plan to do that. And there are lots of resources out there. And thankfully, with the internet and pastors that probably can guide you as well, there's plenty of resources for you to develop that kind of plan. But that's the first thing that you need to start with. And even if your kids are older, you can still start this. It's not too late to do it. And you can begin to figure out changes in your lifestyle and your approach to raise your kids in a more effective way. So I'm going to leave it there, and we'll come back on Wednesday and talk some more. And in the meantime, just have a great day and be blessed.